This video is going to show you how to make graffiti letters of your own from scratch, not ones that you actually trace. You can see right here I've made a T and an O, and I know they're kind of crazy, but it's graffiti. It's supposed to look cool. I don't really care if it's legible or not. So what I'm going to do to make these things, okay, you can see over here I have my T and my O layer. That's just from my original one. I'm going to go to my text tool, and I am going to change the color up here to black. And I want to use just a regular font like Arial, nice and standard. I'm going to use 900 points. What I did, usually you can only choose up to 72, but if you double click on that, you can type in whatever number you did. I did that and typed in 900. Okay, so I'm going to click on my project. I'm going to make a capital T, and I'm happy with that, so I will hit the check mark up here to say, yep, I'm happy with that. It is done. You can see it creates a T layer, a text layer over here. Now I want to be able to move this and resize this thing. So I'm going to right click on the name of the layer, which is just T, and I'm going to choose rasterize type. This turns it into a bunch of dots. I can now resize it, rotate it with this tool. There's your move tool. Okay. I can click on the text layer and move it around. I can grab the corners and I can stretch, resize it. I can also rotate it, whatever I want to do. Okay. So fine, that's good. All right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create a path around it. I'm going to go to my paths. I'm going to create a new one. I'm going to double click on the name and I'm going to call this thing T new. Okay. So I'll come back here to my pen tool. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to click, not click and drag, and make the most basic letter I can. Cool, done. All right. So what I want to do is I'm going to alter this. So I'm going to hold my command button or control if you had a PC. I'm going to command and click on one of these. Now just the one is selected. You can see it's dark, the others are light. And I'm going to stretch this in a way that gives me a basic, like rough idea of how I want my letter to be shaped. No detail yet. Just general ideas. I don't care if I change the outline. Just want it close. All right. Now I want some of these lines to be curves. I can't just command control. I'm going to say that command control together. I can't just say command control and just move this because it'll move the whole line. It doesn't actually bend it. I want it to bend it. So what I do, don't hold any buttons down. If I just click on the line, bam, it makes a new anchor, and I command control, and now I can bend it. Okay, so click on the line, make a new anchor, command control, bend it. Click on the line, command control, bend it, etc., etc., etc. Okay, whatever I want to do. So now I've got all my lines bent, and I'm going to keep using that command control button and start to get stuff closer to what I want. Now, you might find that you end up having extra anchors and you're like, wow, I don't really need all these anchors anymore because I got these bent lines. If you want to get rid of one, just go over it. You have auto add delete checked. So it will get rid of an anchor if you click on it, command control, and I will bend this. And sometimes you will find that once the lines have been, or you will find once the lines have been bent, you can just bend them around from there. So I can move my handles, whatever I want to do. All right, starting to look a little more graffiti-esque, shall we say. So now that I've got this here, I'm like, okay, what else can I do with this thing? Well, what if I want to um, make some extreme angles? Here, I'm going to move this. Handles. You're just going to have to experiment with this a little bit, okay? Maybe I'm going to change this back the other direction. So check this out. I've got this here. Actually, I'm just going to add one in. I'm going to add one in. New anchor, okay? Now, if I just grab this handle, it does this. I'm like, I don't want it to feel blobby. I want it to feel sharp. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hold my Alt Option button. You can see my icon changes to this little sharp point, okay? This allows me to grab that handle and move it independently. All right, so Command button, bend that line, makes a new anchor, and Alt Option button allows me to bend that in. Command button, move that. I don't think I need this anymore. I'm going to delete it. Oh, you know what? It made it straight, so I do. Fine. Click it, put it back in. Command button. No big deal at all, right? So, cool. So now I've got cool little swoop in here. That's a straight line. That's boring here. I'm going to take that one out. Actually, no, I'm going to leave it in. Click and add a new anchor. Bend it this way. Take this one. Command Control. Bend it in a little bit. And here I'm going to click, click, Alt Option, Alt Option. Make that a little fancier. All right, so now that I've got my shape, I'm like, cool, I got this funky graffiti tee. I'm happy with that. I'm going to go to my layers. I'm going to make a new layer to paint it on. The layers are your actual project. The paths are like blueprints, and blueprints are meant to build a house. They're not the house, right? This is where the house goes. So my path, this is my blueprint. I can either make it do a selection, an outline, or fill it with color. I'm going to click this to fill it with color, and you can see back here on my layer, it has filled it with color.